This is weird.
From the land of conjurers, flying through the internet to your device like a UAP, hauntingly unexplained and downright weird, this is the Witching Hours, and we are ready to take off in the flash of an eye. Good evening to one and all, wherever and whenever you are listening to this program. I am Frosty, and joining me, as always, is the medium Jenny Lee. How are you doing, Jenny?
I'm here.
We're here.
This is about as good as I can get.
We've been busy. We had our
Yes.
first kind of a little bit of, I think we're waiting for some downtime.
We are.
Well, at this point.
I've been waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been, what is that Titanic meme? It's
Yeah.
been 98 years.
Whatever. Rose was really old, by the way. Speaking of which, I was telling you the other day, there was definitely room on the door from
Yes.
what I saw.
Scientifically
There's
proven.
scientific evidence now that was 100% the deal there. Welcome in, one and all. We're so happy to have you here on another Monday night. And we'll introduce our guest here in a little bit, but we have somebody that was recommended by Team Weird. So get ready for a great show tonight. We're looking forward to it. As everyone is coming in and hanging out and pulling up and getting ready for the show tonight, I do want to remind you that we are on the Spirit Realm Network. You can find the Spirit Realm on Facebook, on the spiritrealm.net. And coming out now is the Roku app and different apps, so you can download us straight to your TV and be able to watch us, well, from the comfort of your couch, if that's what you prefer. And it's always helpful wherever you're watching us. If you leave a review, a like, a thumbs up, whatever you need to do on whatever platform you follow us on.
Hopefully
Reviews are
not the middle finger.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can leave those too. We get those every once in a while. Or complaints of my pronunciation of Reese's. So that's another one. You can Apple Podcast, if you listen to us on Apple Podcast, or if you have an account on Apple Podcast, if you go and leave us a review, that is highly appreciated because it helps other people find the Witching Hours and Team Weird and just more fun, cool stuff we can do the bigger we grow. We appreciate it, and thank you. All right.
Guess what's coming up, man? In 1 month and 2 days, Team Weird Takeover. Team Weird Takeover is coming up faster and faster and faster. Join us this year at the Laurel Baltimore Hotel in Baltimore, Maryland, June 27th and 28th. Be joined by many amazing guests and, of course, Team Weird.
You guys.
Buy your tickets now for $60 over at thewitchinghourspodcast.com. Click on the merch button. It'll take you to the place where you can purchase your ticket. We're getting very excited. It's the next thing for us now.
Yeah. We were talking too. I guess we might as well go ahead and announce it. Doesn't hurt anything tonight that we're going to go ahead and put Team Weird Takeover T-shirts. Say that 3 times fast.
Tongue twister.
We're going to go ahead and make those go live over on the site. We weren't quite sure how we were going to handle merch for that this year, but we've been using Fourth Wall, and it seems to have worked out okay. So our goal has been to go ahead and have a shirt for those who want it. So that way we can, if you want to have one ordered, to be able to have one there, you can have it. Or if you want to order one later after 10, it's there for you to order. So I just made that public over on Fourth Wall. So if you go check out the store, which you can get to through the witchinghourspodcast.com, same place you buy your tickets, you can buy a shirt as well. All different sizes up there for whatever you need. So you can check that out as well. All right, Jenny, you about ready for some weird news?
Yep. And then there was weird news.
And then there's weird news. If you got a spooky shop, haunted attraction, paranormal book, or strange little business of your own, you can sponsor the Witching Hours.
Oh, sorry,
We offer
Frosty. I was supposed to be
post-read
reading that.
ads and sponsorship for the Weird News segment. You can find pricing and details at thewitchinghourspodcast.com. Come get weird with us.
With us. Sorry.
I'm going to make, just for that, I'm going to make you read the Weird News again tonight. Here, I'm going to share it with you.
I was supposed to read that part.
You can either get that part,
pause,
or you can read the Weird News, which didn't go so hot last time.
No, it didn't.
So
sorry,
we got to hit our marks there. We're supposed to be professional broadcasters.
Last week we were both of us got thrown off, and because of that, now we don't know what we're doing. Like we haven't been doing this for 4 years or whatever.
Missing JFK and MK Ultra. Missing JFK and MK Ultra files. Former CIA officer James Erdman testified in front of the Senate last week, claiming U.S. intelligence files seized 40 boxes of JFK and MK Ultra files that were being processed for declassification.
Mm-hmm.
House Oversight Committee members Anna Paulina Luna of Florida and Eric Burleson of Missouri are standing by the whistleblower's claims that the CIA took secret files and marched into CIA headquarters in Virginia to demand the return of the files. The meeting took place after lawmakers gave the agency just 24 hours to both preserve and relinquish the troves of data. Burleson tweeted, "We went to deliver a message, and that message is that this is a new era. The president is demanding disclosure, and we wanted assurances that they are understanding of that and on the same page." The CIA officially launched MK Ultra in 1953 under Director Alan Dulles, which the stated goal of developing techniques for mind control and interrogation during the Cold War. Thousands of pages later revealed that the agency experimented with LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and psychological abuse, often on unsuspecting Americans. The program, conducted from 1953 to 1964, at least they say it ended in 1964, aimed to develop procedures and drugs for interrogations, weakening individuals and forcing confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. Total of 144 projects were carried out under MK Ultra during that period, highlighting the vast scale of the CIA's secret experimentation program.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole problem with disclosure. It's like they just get out the Sharpie and it'll be like the word "the" and "a" and like. Or they can just get rid of all the documents before they release them and say, "Oh, that's all we've got."
Yeah, that's all we got. Besides those 40 boxes that we took, that
we took to the shredder.
There's been some interesting things that have come out about MK Ultra just recently that I've been kind of having some conversations about. I've watched a little bit on, and I don't know how much we've talked about that, but have you seen the connection that they're drawing to MK Ultra and Charles Manson?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I won't get into it here. Maybe we can have a guest on to talk about it sometime. But essentially, like, we know that, like, it's been proven now that when Charles Manson was released from prison for like petty theft or whatever, he was in San Francisco and he went to a clinic there to get like medications and stuff. And the person who ran that clinic was a doctor working for MK Ultra for the CIA.
Jeez.
So yeah, there's lots of interesting connections there with what happened with the family, and was that a product? Was that a product of that? We don't know, but there's definitely some links that are being drawn there now. Wow. Story number 2. This is an interesting one. I'm curious to see what everyone in Team Weird has to say about this. Tarot card readers are turning to AI for guidance. Researchers are noticing a much more modern twist on an old practice. Some pull their cards, then type what they drew into ChatGPT and ask an AI to help make sense of it. A new study takes a hard look at why people are doing this and what it reveals about how humans find meaning, even when the process is designed to be completely random. The research, presented at the 2026 CHI Conference on Human Factors and Computing Systems, is one of the first academic studies to examine how people use AI tools to interpret tarot readings. What makes this practice especially curious is that from a scientific standpoint, the cards drawn or not casually connected to the question being asked, even though many practitioners experience the process as a deeply meaningful and spiritual significant. So, according to a 2025 Pew study, they cited in their research, 30% of Americans use astrology, tarot, or fortune tellers at least once a year. So, one roughly of the population, which I don't know, struck me as maybe a little high, um, or at least higher than I thought the base would have been at one point in time.
Yeah.
As AI tools like ChatGPT have become part of everyday life, it was perhaps inevitable that they would find their way into tarot rooms too. Participants were recruited through Reddit, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, and local tarot shops. They had to be at least 18 years old, and everyone interviewed had already incorporated AI into their practice. So the findings reflect how adopters make sense of the tool, not how the broader community felt about using AI, which I think was significant. The most emotionally resonant finding was how many people turn to AI specifically when struggling with self-doubt. Tarot readings can surface uncomfortable feelings or conflicting interpretations, and several participants described a tendency to second guess their own instincts. Yes, right?
Yeah, but
One participant who has spent decades developing personal divination systems described how AI helped him work through that uncertainty. And so I won't go through the rest of the article. Although there was, so I want to read this one part. It says participants themselves raised concerns that AI could erode their personal intuition over time. And several also flagged a specific worry that AI is designed to be agreeable, essentially telling people what they want to hear, which I think too many readers already do. 30% of Americans already use some form of divination every year. And this study suggests that chatbots are beginning to enter that space too. All right, let's go ahead and Team Weird. I know there's a bunch of
Luce already said a long time ago when you started, then you aren't using your gifts. This is killing intuition, which was something that came up in the article too. Yeah. Nope.
Like, I just, if you're talking about spirit, I mean, I guess
let's not go down this rabbit hole.
I know, right? Because ChatGPT essentially could be itself a definition tool, I guess. If a spirit board, I'm just saying, if a spirit board can be, and smoke can be, and tea leaves can be, then I don't know. I mean, it's just a question, right? I don't know. But I would agree that I think it has the chance to dull your intuition, and that when if you're second guessing yourself, then you're not doing the divination the way that you should be. Like, that's something that you should be working through.
You have to work through it so that you build up your confidence by having validation from the people that you're reading for, not having AI tell you. Cole says, quick, burn some sage and drive out the AI. Yes.
So what do you say, Jenny? Horse shit?
Of course.
Okay.
Big giant horse shit. Need a wagon for that one.
All right. So there we go. AI and tarot readings. Coming to a
no bueno.
Story number 3, the Pentagon releases new batch of UFO files. We've been so busy, we haven't been able to go over the first batch of UFO files. But the Pentagon has released another sizable set of UFO files and videos. The document dump that came on Friday follows a veritable treasure trove of materials posted on the government's new dedicated UAP transparency website. The second round of releases consists of 64 files that includes 51 pieces of footage that have been previously requested by members of Congress at the start of the year. Among the anomalies found in the videos were seemingly, most of which seem to be in the last 8 years of various military operations, are UFOs that appear to accelerate instantaneously, a group of unknown objects flying in formation over the Persian Gulf, a cigar-shaped UAP. The collection also includes a handful of USO cases, such as footage of a cluster of submerged objects at an unspecified location. Also included in the dump are a handful of intriguing text material, such as a 116-page file concerning a series of sightings and investigations in Sandia, New Mexico from 1948 to 1950. So Lots of stuff still coming out on there, which I haven't been able to go through. I'll just bring up Mike Stratton and say we still haven't got any of the gun camera footage.
Right. CMC said the last set of releases is really exciting, including the actual USAF shoot downs of UAPs.
And so CMC, my question here, I saw an article on that the other day that said that there's a video showing the Air Force shooting down a UFO. And just from jump, I'm kind of highly skeptical of I'm just saying, like, if it's something that isn't earthbound,
like a Chinese weather balloon.
Yeah.
Okay. What got blown up.
There we go.
And CMC is saying now we do have the actual gun camera footage.
We do have actual gun camera footage. Yeah. Okay, I need to go through this stuff.
But if it was a weather balloon that got blown up, like we're just circling the drain, you guys.
Right. The goal, I kind of had the goal of maybe me and Jenny jumping on one night just to hang out and actually going through some of the files. And you guys can jump in and look at it. And
next time we have a guest cancel, let's just plan for that.
Or I don't know. Or if we can jump on. We'll try to do it soon so we can get through some of this information. I don't know if we'll have anybody cancel anytime soon, but
I don't know. Happens sometimes.
Could be next week. Yeah. Now that I said that. And then the last story for tonight is a cyclist in England claims he encountered a telepathic praying mantis alien. A young man in England claims that he had a terrifying encounter with an extraterrestrial that resembled a giant praying mantis, which could communicate with him telepathically. The bizarre incident reportedly occurred this past summer, but only recently came to light when the shaken witness decided to share his story with the media. The unsettling event unfolded one morning last July as he was riding his bicycle from his job. The routine trip took a troubling turn, he recalled, when he first spotted a UFO hovering in the sky. At first, I thought it must be Venus or a satellite, he said, but it seemed to be much closer than either of these things. And after he had taken some pictures of the anomaly, he noticed that it began rotating. Uneasy about what he was witnessing, he wound up in a wooded area where he could no longer see the odd object, thinking that the weirdness was behind him. He soon was disabused of that notion when he turned a corner and spotted what he could only describe as a humanoid praying mantis.
Wow.
The young man described the curious creature as standing at least 7 feet tall and possessing a triangular head and big oval black eyes. It had all the features of a mantis, but stood on 2 legs and somehow had a human-like shape about it. He said he simply stared into its eyes and felt as if he and the oddity were somehow communicating telepathically. Yep. And he says his fear was replaced with completely alien thoughts of utter hatred and evil. And I projected from this thing, he said, recounting the chilling messages. He says he was able to break free from the mental grip of the creature and escape from the scene unscathed. Unfortunately for the young man, his life has been torn asunder since the encounter with the presumed extraterrestrial, including sleepless nights. He was forced to quit his job after he told his coworkers about it, and they started making fun of him.
Poor guy.
So there we go. I don't know who has had run-ins. You've had run-ins, right, with the praying mantis people?
Yes. Not
hatred.
Not like I ran into them in the backyard though. It's like telepathic things. No, not at all.
No utter hatred and evil.
No. I mean, I could imagine if you saw one with your eyes in front of you that you would be terrified, and that might be where that feeling was coming from. Because a praying mantis just by itself is kind of scary looking. Yeah, but then you make it 7 feet tall and you probably pooped himself. I probably would have.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard. Yeah, I've heard obviously of the praying mantis. We've talked to a couple of people that have had connections with praying mantis people.
I think we're going to have another guest on not too long from now that has some mantid connections.
Okay. So there we go. That was the weird news.
Weird. It's definitely weird. Faux show.
All right, let's get to it, guys. Vivyana the Dragon Mystic is a spiritual mentor, best-selling author, and oracle creator who helps spiritually sensitive souls connect with their dragon guides and strengthen their intuitive self-trust in grounded, practical ways. We'll see if that's AI or not. Her journey began with an unexpected meeting with her first dragon spirit guide, Ashara, an experience that transformed her understanding of spiritual evolution. Since then, she has worked with over 100 dragons. She now helps others embody empowered, sovereign living with clarity, confidence, and steady support. Please welcome to the show, Vivyana. How are you doing, Vivyana?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. It is a pleasure to be here. And I wanted to say thank you to, I believe, Luce for the recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
I am humbled and touched that one of your weird team.
Weird, one of our weirdos found you. Yes.
Recommended me. That is so nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, weird is a term of endearment around here.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
It is for me too. How's it not? Oh, and Luce, I absolutely love your graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah. They are our resident dragon person, so I know that they're very excited to have you on tonight.
So to get started tonight, I kind of just wanted to ask kind of the basic question for people who aren't familiar with the topics we're going to delve in tonight, which is when we're talking about dragons and dragon mysticism and dragon mystics, what exactly are we talking about?
Well, what I usually tell people when somebody first asks me, like, who are you talking to? What are dragons? And I'm like, dragons are like angels, but with more teeth. That's what I usually say because people are very familiar with angels as spiritual beings.
Mm-hmm.
And from my perspective, dragons are spiritual beings. They're just another type. There are infinite types of spiritual beings, and dragons are just one of them. There are so many different types of dragons too. They're not just from Earth. They are universal, literally. They're everywhere, and they're older than humanity. They're older than Earth. I kind of like to think that they were born with the birth of the universe. And I like to say that in our, right now, in our place in our human evolution is what I like to call the Great Dragon Awakening right now in history, because humanity is at this pivotal point in our collective spiritual evolution. Dragons are reconnecting with humans who are open to the connection, and humans are reaching out and connecting with dragons. So there's this reciprocal reconnection between humans and dragons right now. And I didn't know that this was happening when I first connected with them. I thought, oh my God, dragons are real, and I'm the only person on the planet who are connecting with them. Oh my! Then I realized, no, that's not the case. There are people connecting with dragons all over the world. I am not alone. If you are connecting with dragons, you are not alone either. And I've now connected with probably hundreds of people who are also communicate with dragons, who are connected with them, who have many, many dragon spirit guides, and who are learning, like myself, that this dragon connection is reestablishing itself with humanity, because dragons really want to help humanity on an individual basis and as a collective basis with our spiritual evolution.
Because Lord knows we need it.
Yeah.
Isn't that wasn't it really great validation to know, like, when you did find out that it wasn't just you, to know that there were other people? Yeah.
Like I'd already been on my intuitive awakening journey for 13 years. At that point, I had already connected with angel guides. I'd connected with animal spirit guides. I can also do mediumship. It's not really my purpose in life, this incarnation, but I can do it. I can communicate with spirit. And when I connected with my first dragon, I was like in disbelief that they were actually real, because I grew up on Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern series, and I always wanted to impress a dragon. And I actually made that the dedication in my book when I wrote it. I dedicated this book to my younger self, who was desperate to impress a dragon. It took 30 years, but better late than never. And that's really what it feels like what it felt like the first time. Yeah. And then so I connected with Ashara in August of 2023, and there's a story to that. If you want to hear it, I can share it.
Of course.
Okay. Okay, so the connecting with Ashara story is, like I mentioned, I'd been on my intuitive awakening journey for 13 years. I was not new to it. And I would, like, at the time, I had created and I was running an online education platform called Metaphysical School. And so what I taught was crystal healing and empath skills and intuitive development. And so, Jenny, you're probably familiar with most of the techniques that I was teaching at the time. But we had a faculty of 40 metaphysical teachers from around the world, and we offered courses, and like we had 60 courses, and we had 3 master classes, and it was this big thing.
Cool.
And so in August of 2023, at the beginning of August, I'm suddenly seeing dragons everywhere. They're showing all over my social media feeds, and I was not in any dragon groups. Remember, I still thought dragons were fiction.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing them all over my social feeds. People are emailing me about dragons. I'm seeing dragons in abstract patterns everywhere, in my tile floor, in the sky, in leaf patterns. I'm seeing dragons everywhere. And I don't really sleep that well. And after 3 weeks of this, I see another email in my inbox about dragons. And I actually talked to the person who sent me that email today, which is weird.
Ooh,
all the synchronicities.
Yeah.
I know. So it's like 3 a.m. and I'm going through my emails and my social media feed. And I finally think to ask myself, I wonder if there's a dragon spirit guide who is trying to connect with me.
And that was it, like, snap, there they are.
Okay. Nothing miraculous happened.
Okay.
But I did mention that I'm a crystal healer, and I was teaching crystal healing skills and all the crystal energy. And so I felt this intuitive nudge, imperative, to pick up one of the crystals on my bed headboard. I have many, as you can imagine. If I'm a crystal healer, I have lots.
A person has crystals everywhere. Yes.
My headboard's full of them. But anyway, I felt this, and I brought it. It's in my pocket.
Oh.
That's so cool. Okay. So I felt this really strong intuitive nudge to pick up one of my crystals, and this is it. So it's now mounted in a necklace, so I can wear it all the time. And this is a Preseli bluestone, and it's a pretty rare crystal. You can only find them in Preseli Hills in Wales, and it's also called Stonehenge stone because the inner ring of Stonehenge is made out of this crystal. So the big mystery, one of the big mysteries of Stonehenge, is how did they get crystal Preseli bluestone from Wales to Glastonbury?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is Stonehenge stone, and it had been on my headboard for 2 years, and I had been wearing my Preseli bluestone bracelet. So I have a Preseli bluestone bracelet as well. I wear it all the time. I've been wearing it for years and years and years. So I was familiar with this crystal. Anyway, so I pick up this Preseli bluestone crystal in my left hand, because that's your intuitive receiving hand, right? And that's when the miraculous thing happened.
Oh, okay.
So out of this crystal came this huge energy, and it came out of the crystal and into my hand. And this energy went up my arm and across my shoulders and into my chest, and from my chest, like up and down my body, from my head to my toes. And because I've been working on intuitive development and trust in my intuition, I knew that,
as you should, yes.
saw AI like just practice. So I felt this really powerful energy come out of the crystal and into me and into my whole body. And I knew that it was a feminine spiritual guide. And because I had already spoken to many spirit guides, I didn't have any fear, which is really important when you're dealing with dragons. I very unaffraidly said, "Who are you?" And she said to me, "I am the dragon crystal guardian of Perselli Bluestone."
Oh.
And I was like,
"Dragons? Do what? Yeah, huh?
Dragons are real? Like, this is a thing?" And the next thing she said to me was, "Dragons act as crystal guardians. There is a dragon guardian for each type of crystal." At which point I was like, that just doesn't seem right, because there are so many different types of crystals,
right?
On the planet. There cannot be that many dragons. And she said to me, "It matters not what you believe." Like, all right.
Mic drop. Boom.
What I now know is that not only are there dragon crystal guardians, but there are infinite types of dragons. There are elemental dragons and galactic dragons, and like, you name it, there's a type of dragon for it, practically.
That's what I was curious about, because like I'm a old school D&D player, and of course there's dragons connected to like the different elements, and even like forest areas or swamp areas or whatever. Like even the land could have its own connection with different kinds of dragons. So that's true also.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. So we'll probably get into it later, but I'm curating a multi-author book called The Dragon Codes, and it's 24 authors sharing personal transformation stories of healing, empowerment, and spiritual evolution in relationship with dragons. And one of them shares their story of connecting with the dragons of the St. Lawrence, which is a river, the big river in Eastern Canada. And so, yes, there are collectives of dragons that are all over the world. There are mountain dragons, there are tree dragons, there are sky dragons. I connected with snow dragons this winter, and I was like, okay, interesting. I have a beautiful story about connecting with snow dragons, but yeah, there are infinite types of dragons in the universe, and it's really amazing and lovely to connect with them, and it totally changes your perspective on spiritual evolution. And yeah, I also am familiar with D&D, and I read all the dragon books when I was a kid, right? Like,
it's like it was preparing you for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 100%. Like, Dragonlance, do you know how many times I have read Dragonlance? And now there's this resurgence of dragon fiction, like really popular dragon fiction, right? Like, Rebecca Yarros's Fourth Wing was again the most popular romantasy book of 2024 and 2025.
Oh,
like,
wow.
The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's a huge resurgence of dragon fiction, and I do not think that it's a coincidence that it is happening during this Great Dragon Awakening, when humans are reconnecting with actual dragons as spiritual beings.
Yeah. Luce had a good comment. She said, they said they feel safe enough to be known again.
For me, it's actually that humanity has evolved to a point, and this is like individuals, not collective, that there are those of us who are far enough along in our intuitive journeys that yes, they feel safe to connect with us as individuals. And those 3 weeks, and I can't believe it took me 3 weeks, because I mean, I'd been on my intuitive journey for 13 years at that point, but yeah, 3 weeks. Those 3 weeks of dragon synchronicities, that's often how dragons like dip their talons into the waters of, is this person going to be open to connect with me? Is this person going to be fearful or open?
Yeah.
That it's like, it's their litmus test, right?
Yeah, when we had Barbara Worsley on, that's what she was talking about too. It was like, are you seeing dragons everywhere? Like, like there's a reason why you're seeing dragons everywhere. It's because they're like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hello, hello. Yeah,
exactly.
That's amazing. So I've always wondered this because I have also had the opportunity to connect with dragon energy through people in our community who have dragon friends. And I've seen my dragon friend too. But I haven't really connected with mine a whole lot. But let's back this up. They are a wonderful, beautiful, amazing, supportive, protective energy. Why do you think that in our popular culture, they became a beast that needed to be defeated?
Well, one of the first stories of dragons as the villain, as dragons as evil, is the story of St. George slaying the dragon. Right? And so the story of St. George comes from organized religion.
Yes.
An organized religion has its own agenda, right? Which is the opposite of spiritual sovereignty. They want people to conform. They want people to be easily controlled. They want people to believe wholeheartedly their system of belief, right? They don't want people to think for themselves and evolve themselves, because evolved, independent, sovereign, empowered people are much more difficult to control.
Correct.
And so there's this organized religion institution that, as one of its foundations, talks about angels as spiritual beings. So there is no doubt in my belief system that this organized religion also knows about other spiritual beings. If they know about angels, they have to know about other ones, right?
True.
They just don't talk about other ones. So here's this collective of spiritual beings, and I talked about like basically the dragon realm, right? Let's talk about the dragon realm. There's this type of spiritual being, the dragons, who is all about helping us progress along our spiritual evolution. That would be really antithesis to the organized religion agenda, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
So a little St. George dragon slaying propaganda where you have an evil dragon who kidnaps a princess and the brave knight goes and slays it, and yay the knight and yay all the things that go along with that. And the dragon is evil, and suddenly we have all of this anti-dragon propaganda. And
I almost spit my tea out when you said but it is anti-dragon propaganda, yes.
I was pretty sure that we were going to touch on that subject on this particular podcast. Yeah, so not everybody has
you
to
must
believe
be
the same
psychic
things
or
I believe.
something.
Not
because
everybody
AI didn't tell you that part.
No, it did not. So that is why I believe that dragons have been vilified in Western culture.
Yes.
Because of the prominence of organized religion and the desire to vilify a spiritual being whose one of their purposes is like, I don't like being human centric, but like what dragons do with us is they help us with our spiritual evolution.
Yeah.
But that's just Western culture. That's
Correct.
not Eastern culture.
Yeah.
Eastern dragon culture is they are powerful and benevolent beings who are protective, and so there isn't an organized Eastern religion that vilifies dragons, they practically worship dragons.
Yeah.
So, but there are dragons in almost every culture.
Yep.
And only in the Western culture are they vilified.
Thanks, St. George.
Well, it's kind of interesting too, because when we're talking about the time frame, I feel like, I don't know, but the 80s, I felt like I was definitely aware of there being lots of dragons. And, I think that looking back at it with my connection to a lot of times, obviously dragons were connected to fantasy. There was an awareness that dragons were good, and I guess the example for that would be my first connection to a dragon, which was none other than the luck dragon.
And the never-ending
story.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe to a certain extent that kind of changed with that generation, because then we get the luck dragon and we get a kind of idea that what we had about Aragon and a bunch of other kind of like pro-dragon propaganda that cropped up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
The Dragon Riders of Pern, Anne McCaffrey started writing those in the 70s. So I feel like I don't actually know of any pro-dragon propaganda literature pre-Dragon Riders of Pern. I don't know if Anne McCaffrey started the trend, but because if you think about Tolkien, right? Smaug is not an ally.
Very friendly.
Very intelligent. Very intelligent.
He's the quintessential villain, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that change in modern human culture in the West, at least, kind of started changing in the 70s, and it's just kind of gone like step by step with, like you said, there are benevolent dragons in Dragonlance. There's both, right? There are benevolent and malevolent dragons in that series in terms of, literature, contemporary literature. And then there's the Inheritance Cycle that came out in the 90s, and I obsessed. I rabidly consumed that series. And whenever a new book came out, I would reread all the books before that.
Oh, wow.
Again. Yeah. And then now we're in 2026 and there are tons of romantasy is really big into dragons as benevolent beings again. So I'm loving that there's huge fiction resurgence, and what I write about is dragon nonfiction, and I'm really looking forward to the day when Amazon has a dragon nonfiction category, because all we have is angels and spirit guides. I'm like, can we be a little bit more specific about that?
Yeah. We had a fun comment from Bill over on Facebook. He said he lives in Messina, New York, 3 miles from the St. Lawrence River, and his cat's name is Toothless. There's our double dragon stuff going on over there.
There we
go. Beautiful.
So I guess the next thing I want to bring up was we're talking about dragon in a spirit form and in kind of the spiritual realm of dragons. Was there ever a physical form of dragons?
I asked my dragon Ashara that. Okay, Ashara is just one of my dragons. I have a family of 4 dragons. I call them my dragon family. They're the ones I communicate with the most. So I asked Ashara, she's the dragon that I do the most talking with, and I asked her if dragons were once on Earth, and she said yes. She gave me like a full sensory transmission of when she was on Earth, and I felt a lot of heat and I smelled sulfur and there's a lot of lava that I could see. That was just where she was, and I was like, okay. So yes, what she told me was, I actually wrote it in my book.
Okay.
She told me that dragons are children of the earth and represent the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. dragons were once living creatures, but have now ascended into spirit. So yes, from Ashara's point of view, dragons have been in physical form on Earth. And I also have a deep intuitive feeling that dragons are in physical form in other places in the universe, and that's just normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. To kind of go off of that. We had a couple of comments too that I wanted to bring up, if I can find them again. So this is a connection that me and Geneva have always talked about, that Cole Drake brought up too. I always kind of figured somebody stumbled upon some dino skulls and they became dragons. Have we? Do we think there was any connections, or was it something completely different?
From my perspective, when dragons ascended into spirit, all evidence of them on Earth ascended into spirit too.
Okay.
So they're from, like, I don't think that there are dragon skeletons on Earth anywhere.
Okay.
I think they went
with them.
They went with them.
When it changed.
Yeah.
That would make sense, I think. I could see that. And then we had another comment from CMC, and CMC said that he asked his dragon, and he said, not in a form that we would perceive as being. So that's what CMC had to say about a conversation also with dragons as well. So that's interesting. I kind of see it that way, especially if their purpose, as you said, was to help humans kind of progress in our spiritual evolution. Then they're the perfect beings to do that if they've already essentially ascended, right? Or evolved, or whatever that word term is.
I think dragons were in spirit form with the birth of the universe. So they're old. Very ancient. And they incarnate, in different places in the universe at different times.
Excellent.
Oh, Luce had a fun comment too. They really are family. 2 of my dragons I've been with since they were whelplings.
Well, I've connected with probably hundreds of dragons at this point. I need to change my bio information to reflect that.
Just put an S on it.
Yeah. I think I need to do that now. But yeah, even though I've connected with hundreds, I have 4 who rest within me. So getting a little bit back to the Ashara story, after I told Ashara that, I find that kind of hard to believe when she told me dragons guard crystals and there's a dragon for each crystal type. What I feel happened with that was that because I practiced discernment on what she told me, and I just didn't accept what she had to say without thinking about it. And I didn't argue with her about it. I just said, that's hard to believe. That kind of made her respect me in the place where I am at in my journey. And that's when she decided to become my main dragon spirit guide. So she actually rests, like, part of her, and dragons have split consciousness. So just her whole consciousness isn't with me. I have a part of it, but the rest of her consciousness is, elsewhere. I don't know if that makes sense, but so part of her rests within me above my heart chakra. And then I met several more dragons, obviously. But the second dragon to kind of decide to be a part of me and join my dragon family, we were 2 at the time, and then we became 3, was another of the dragon crystal guardians. And her name is Septera, and she's the dragon crystal guardian of Septarian. And I've connected with almost 100 dragon crystal guardians. And
wow.
And only 2, one was Ashara, the second one was Septera. Like, they don't all stay with me.
Yeah.
And then there was a third dragon who connected with me, and she wasn't a dragon crystal guardian at all. She was a younger dragon, and she came to me somewhat broken. She was injured, I guess. She was wounded, and she found me kind of through this connection that I had with Ashara and Septerra, and her name is Stella, meaning star. Anyway, so she decided that she wanted to join my dragon family, so she's in here with me. And she actually chose to become a dragon crystal guardian. I told her that that her energy was very similar to like clear quartz with rubellite. I don't know if you know, rubellite is pink tourmaline. So so Stella has this very similar energy to that crystal, and she was like, "Oh, could I like be that dragon crystal guardian?" And I was like, "Sure, go find yourself a deposit somewhere on Earth and decide that you are going to be the dragon crystal guardian for that deposit, and there you go." And that's what she decided to do, and she's still with me. And then I have a baby dragon. Her name's Halcyon, and she's blue and purple, and she's very darling. And so that's my dragon family. And Halcyon is kind of with me to meet other dragons, because I'm kind of a hub for dragon connections.
You're talking to a lot of them.
Yeah. And so some dragons connect with me because I have other dragons with me, and some of them have connected with me just to meet Halcyon. And so it's pretty interesting. But yeah, like I have 4 dragons as part of my dragon family, but I've connected with hundreds of different dragons, and those are just ones that decided to stay for whatever reason, and my heart and my soul are open to them. And so I'm at 4 at the moment. Who knows where that's going to go in the future?
Well, yeah, the woo-woo world is always a changing. Luce has a question. Would you equate dragons with elementals?
Nope. I know some people do, but I do not. Dragons, okay, here's how I answer that question. So after connecting with about 40 different dragon crystal guardians, I connect with lots of different kinds of dragons, but those are the main ones at this point. So after I connected with about 40 dragon crystal guardians, I started noticing a pattern to their energy, and that they each have a very individual energy, but at a higher level, they also have different categories of energies, and I called those dragon energy archetypes. And there are 8 dragon energy archetypes in my belief system, and 4 of them represent the elements, and 4 of them represent purpose. So do dragons equate to elementals? No, but dragons, at least the dragons that I've connected with, they have very, very similar energy frequencies to earth, air, fire, water. And so when you connect with them, if you connect with one who's just fire energy, you're going to be like, that's a fire elemental. But no, they could have lots of other energies to them as well. And so the dragon crystal guardians that I've connected with have, they have within their signature anywhere between 1 and 6 of the dragon energy archetypes, if that makes sense. So no, I don't think of dragons as the same as elementals, but if you meet a fire dragon, you're like, that's a fire dragon, and you like know it. If you're familiar with the feeling of fire energy, you're going to feel that. And so I can absolutely understand how if the only experience you have with dragons is, oh my gosh, that's a fire dragon, then you might think that, yeah, dragons definitely feel like elemental beings, but for me, they don't. It's bigger than that.
So I imagine the first time, I guess, when you met Ashara, were you able to picture them through your mind's eye? Is that how you got a visual image?
Yeah. So I connect is through clairvoyance. So I see them. I see the image of them. Clairaudience, so I can hear them talking to me in my head. Claircognizance, I can feel them. So I feel... sometimes they give me different like body tingles and heat over here and cold over there, like claircognizance, a feeling of intuitive energy. And Oh, sorry, that's Claire. I'm
Sentience.
confusing my Claire's.
I always do that too.
Thank you.
I always end up getting one of them messed up.
Oh yeah, okay. It's
and
been
then
a really
Claire
long day for
cognizance
me.
is like, you just know it.
You just know it, and
you just know it. Yeah.
And also the feeling is clairsentience, and claircognizance is just knowing. And so I connect with dragons with my 4 major clairs, and so yeah, I can see them and hear them and feel them. And
so a question I have about that is, the first time, like, was it obvious that it looked like a dragon the way that most people would envision a dragon, or was there something that had to be figured out there first?
Ashara, for me, she definitely looks like a typical Western dragon. She is mostly green and cream with flecks of gold and black. And she has 2 wings and 4 limbs, but not all dragons look like that. There are Eastern dragons who don't have wings. There are wyvern-type dragons with like 2 legs and 2 wings. And dragons come in all shapes and sizes. And I think that's why in human culture we have so many different representations of dragons. For example, I learned recently, because of a dragon pendulum that I recently acquired, that in Hawaiian culture, there is a shape-shifting water dragon called Mo'o. And if I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can.
It sounded right to me.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's MO''O. Okay. Anyway, and that dragon doesn't have wings, and they protect water sources. And they come in male and female, mostly female, according to Hawaiian tradition. So yeah, and those dragons, Mo'os, don't fly. They're like earth and water dragons. Okay. Whereas Eastern dragons, they don't have wings, but they do fly, definitely.
Yes.
So yeah,
I love that. Like, because I've only seen a few, but all the things that you're saying validate what I've experienced, which makes me feel like, yes, I actually am seeing them, like having that realization, like, okay, yeah, it wasn't just me.
Not just you.
Yeah.
No.
We have a couple more questions. CMC would like to know, what is the difference between water and lake in that paradigm?
What paradigm are you talking about?
I think that like when you're talking about the elements, is there like a difference between just water and lake? Like, is there a, I don't know, CMC. You got a clarification there, buddy.
I need a little bit more information than that. Because lakes are water.
Yeah. Okay, well, while he's getting back to us about it, Luce has a question. Have you ever looked into a possibility of a dragon past life?
Yes, and yes. I do have remembrance of being a dragon in a past life. I was black. I was a black dragon, and like a black Western dragon. And I did not live very long because we were hunted, and I died in my relative teen years for a dragon. And so what I remember of my past life as a dragon is pretty traumatic.
Dang.
So it would be nice if I had other past lives as a dragon, but I don't remember any of them. That's the one that I do. But yeah, I do have one that I remember. And I know lots of people in the dragon community that have very specific memories of being dragons in their past life. And there are lots of people in the dragon community who feel like they are actually incarnated dragons in a human body. I don't feel that way about this current incarnation, but there are many people who do. So that's also a different way that people can identify with dragon energy and dragon beings.
That's great, because Luce is in that category. Frosty, it is the top of the hour. Would you like to reset us, please?
It is the top of the hour. So if you've joined us since the beginning of the show, welcome in. We're glad to have you. We are the Witching Hours, your home for a paranormal, supernatural, and unexplained. And joining us tonight is our guest, Vivyana, the Dragon Mystic. So we're talking all things dragons tonight. If you have a question or a comment that you would like to put through to Vivyana, you can put it in chat no matter where you're watching us. We're live on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and the Spirit Realm Network. So wherever you are, feel free to put in your questions and we'll get those passed along tonight. I guess real quick, we should also mention, because you had offered before the show started tonight, that we're going to possibly do a little rundown at the end to be able to get some dragon info to some of Team Weird tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we can do that.
All right. So stay tuned. And we'll probably shoot to start that about 9:15. Give us about 15 minutes at the end to go through and get some information about dragons at the end for yourself. So there we go.
We had a clarification about the water in the lake.
Yes,
we don't know
did.
what he's talking about because he wasn't talking to us. He was talking to somebody else in the chat.
All right.
They were talking about Asian culture and cosmology, the 8-sided hexagram, and then like it was like a different kind of elementals than what we're talking about, and like one of the elements itself was considered like it's like lake, mountain.
Oh, okay.
So like more than just the 4 elements that we usually deal with.
But CMC did have another question that actually was for you. Have any of the dragons shared their higher dimensional non-dragon form?
Okay, there are definitely multi-dimensional dragons. And the dragons that I've connected with, they tend to present themselves to me in a dragon form of something or other. I can, because I've connected with so many, I know what dragon energy feels like. So if one did connect with me that doesn't look like your typical dragon, I would probably know it anyway. But in terms of like multi-dimensional dragons, they don't actually need to look like dragons. Like as humans, we have very specific preconceived notions of what dragons should look like, and it just makes it easier for them to present themselves as that, so that they are easily identified as dragons.
I've had the same realization about angels. Same thing. Like they don't have to look like beautiful people.
Humanoid?
Yeah. They don't have to. They come to that. They come to us like that, so we know that that's who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dragons do the same thing.
Yeah. We had a question over on YouTube. We kind of talked about this already, but I just wanted to make sure that we let you know we saw your question. Why do you think dragons existed? Don't have fossil evidence. We don't have fossil evidence of dragons. And we had kind of talked about that earlier in the show about Vivyana was talking about how she feels like they all of them, including their whatever evidence might have gone with them over to the spirit realm. I was thinking too that like maybe
not the network, but just the spirit realm. Yeah.
Not the spirit realm network. Yes, over to the spirit
Jim doesn't
realm.
have any bones, so don't be writing him
don't
about
ask,
dragon bones.
Nobody get into the group chat and ask Bill about the daggone dragon bones.
Bill, you got any dragon bones over there?
I was thinking too that like when you were talking about how you saw them on Earth when it was a time of molten lava and all of this.
Oh, that's just Ashara.
Yeah,
that's just Ashara. Like other dragons have been here in other times on, in Gaia's timeline.
Okay,
I don't think they left us all that long ago.
Okay, I was thinking, what if they were here so long ago that's like there's no way that we would even have any evidence of them left. But you're saying they're through the ages.
I think there are dragons who interacted with humans in a physical form. So they haven't been gone all that long.
Yeah.
Okay, I would really love to mention this. What Luce, do you see the comment that says Dragon Thunder Summit for 2026?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a co-host for Dragon Thunder Summit this year. I'm super excited about it. So in case you're not aware, there is a Dragon Thunder Summit in July. It is July 25th. And this year, so the Dragon Thunder Summit is organized by an amazing dragon channel and dragon shaman, Kevin Humphrey, out of the UK. And this is the 4th year of the Dragon Thunder Summit. And this year, he's bringing together 38 speakers, and I'm a co-host. So I get to interview, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12 of them. And so this year, all of our recordings are pre-recorded, but we are having a launch party on July 25th. So if you are interested in learning about dragons, there are going to be 38 speakers talking about all of the different things: dragon wisdom, dragon life, dragon consciousness. The talks that I've hosted have been amazing. So yeah, you just have to Google Dragon Thunder Summit 2026. Luce put the link on in the comments. So yes, please join us. We would love to share our dragon wisdom with anybody who is interested in learning.
And the Dragon Thunder Summit is like it's an all online thing. It's not like there's not an in-person part of it, right?
Yeah, it's recordings on YouTube. I'm sure they're going to show up on Spotify as well. And yeah, there's a portal so that you can watch off of YouTube if you want. Yeah, it's all online. There's not an in-person event yet.
Cool.
At some point there will be.
It would be fun, yeah.
Not this year.
What were you going to ask, Frosty?
Oh no, I was just going to say last year we did have the link up to that event last year. So what I'll do is I'll take that link and I will put that in Discord as well. And so that way there's a reminder in there for live events. So if you want to be able to check that out coming up in July, I'll have the link listed down below in this video, but I'll also have it up in our Team Weird Discord, so you can check it out there as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I did my pre-recorded talk last week. This year, the theme is the Year of the Fire Horse. So I shared 4 of the Dragon Crystal Guardians whose only dragon energy archetype is the warrior, which represents the element of fire. And so kind of the theme of my talk is you would think that these 4 dragons would be very similar and they would have very similar personalities and ways of interacting with humans. But no, that is not the case because there are multiple flavors of fire. And so my talk is about these 4 dragons and how different they are from each other and how different the different aspects of spiritual evolution that they specifically help with. So when I was writing my Dragon Wisdom book, which is called Quantum Leap Your Spiritual Evolution with Dragon
That
Crystal
was
Guardians.
Very magical that you just yanked it up.
It's
like
right
you pulled it out of the air.
What came out of writing that book was there are 108 aspects of spiritual evolution that the dragons can support us with. And they range anywhere from confidence to personal empowerment, peace, calm, presence. There's tons of them. And so what I talked about was the different ways that these 4 dragons, who all only represent the element of fire and the warrior dragon energy archetype, how different they are from each other. And it's another way of me sharing that every dragon is different. Every dragon has a different, unique personality and energy. And just because I've connected with some doesn't mean that you can't connect with those as well. But your dragons might be completely different from my dragons, and that's okay.
Yeah. There's enough dragons for everybody, man.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a lot.
Yes.
Well, do you have a name for the dragon? I'm sorry if I missed this, Jenny, but I know you've connected.
I would have to go back and look at my notes because I can't remember, because he did give me a name. But I did have a fun synchronicity with last year's Dragon Thunder Summit. So we had Barbara Worsley on, and after the show, like the next day, I was like, oh, I wonder if I have a dragon. And I had the snap moment where all of a sudden there he was. And then like that day, somebody, Frosty or Luce or somebody, posted the advertisement picture for the Dragon Thunder Summit, and it was the dragon picture looked exactly like my dragon, and I was like, what? Just, I was blown away because it was exactly what Barbara said. If you start thinking, if you think you're getting connected with dragons, they're going to show up. They're going to show themselves. And there it was. It was crazy.
Dragons are really big into synchronicity. As another example, Kevin, the English mystic who hosts the Dragon Thunder Summit, he also hosts Dragon Thunder Talks, which is a monthly podcast talk where he hosts 2 speakers. And I was a speaker in April with one of the other Dragon Codes authors. So the Dragon Codes is the multi-author book that I'm curating with 24 dragon practitioners and channelers, and one of the other speaker is also one of my Dragon Codes authors. And the image that Kevin created for this year's Dragon Thunder Talks, before I even came up with the concept for the Dragon Codes, is a golden Eastern dragon. And the Dragon Codes cover features a golden Eastern dragon and a golden Western dragon. Actually, it has both. But yeah, and I was like, holy synchronicity, right? Because that talk, we talked about the Dragon Codes and how Kevin and I both came up with concepts for multi-author dragon books at the same time, literally the same weekend. And so we're both curating multi-author dragon books at the same time. And
you can't you can't make that stuff up.
You can't make that stuff up.
You can't make it up. Okay, so we're getting to the point where we're going to be working towards doing she's going to do a little reading for us, a little channeling from the dragons. But there's more questions in chat. Yeah, but first I wanted to ask a very important question, because you brought up your book. So where can people find the book that you already have available? And then when is the other book going to be available?
Okay, so my book, Dragon Wisdom, shares 64 dragon chapters, and each one represents their own dragon crystal guardian. And it is available at Amazon and most major retailers. So to find links for it, you can go to my website, thedragonmystic.com/dragonwisdom, title of the book. And that webpage has links to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Waterstones and a bunch of other places where you can get it. But you can also just go to your local bookstore and find it by searching for Dragon Wisdom. And you'll probably have to put my name, Vivyana, and it'll come up. But it's available everywhere. If it's not available in store, which would be rare, it's available to order from local bookstores.
Cool. And then when is the other book going to be available? Do you have kind of a rough timeline?
I do. Cool. So the Dragon Codes book, I am planning the ebook launch for September 8th and the print book launch for October 8th. And because I'm doing all of the things, I'm giving myself a month to do the formatting because ebook formatting and print book formatting are completely
very different
things. And I just need some time. So yeah, September 8th and October 8th, because 8 is the quintessential dragon number.
And it doesn't hurt to have it out there before everyone starts their holiday shopping.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
A good thing.
Okay, so let's see if we can answer these last 2 questions super fast, and then we'll do our channeling message. Priestess of Wonderland said, is there a series that you feel like most accurately portrays dragons, or what is your favorite dragon fantasy book?
Okay. None of the current fiction books really really portray dragons as spiritual beings, but I'm actually going to do a blog or podcast series about the differences between my experience with actual dragons as spiritual beings and the dragons in fiction. My favorite fantasy books with dragons in them are the ones where dragons are benevolent beings who support us and
you don't say.
have like telepathic communication
Yeah.
between people and the dragon. So my favorites are Dragon Riders of Pern, Inheritance Cycle, and yes, I really do love Fourth Wing, like the Empyrean series.
Nice.
How to Train Your Dragons is okay, but those dragons are, please don't hate me, they're more like really, really intelligent dogs or horses.
Yes,
and they
absolutely.
are not so like they don't communicate. So I love it. I actually just watched the How to Train Your Dragon live action like this weekend. No joke. So I watch a lot of dragon shows, and just because I can. So yeah, none of the above, but I do like any of the ones where they are not the villain.
Right. Yes. Okay, so actually I think that was the last question, because the other question was Cole and CMC are just having a big old conversation with each other, and they were talking to each other again. So before the show, we were talking about you are willing to do a little bit of channeling, a little bit of a message from one of the dragons. And you mentioned that you usually do this by picking a number between 1 and 64. Is that correct?
Yeah. So this isn't going to be a channeled message. This is
okay.
like presently channeled. This is going to be a past channeled message.
A past channeled message. Gotcha.
The dragon crystal guardians all have a message to share with humanity.
Okay.
And so what I would love to do is share one of their, I'm going to share more about one particular dragon crystal guardian. I'm going to share their message, more information about them. And if we have time, I will go into the deeper layers of their wisdom, because what you will probably notice is that their messages are really short, but energetically they have lots of layers to them. And so my book shares the message, which is anywhere between 2 to like 16 words.
Yeah.
And then I have like multiple paragraphs about the deeper layers of that message. So
okay. So but it's 1 through 64, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So people in the chat, put in a number between 1 and 64. You're only allowed to give me one number per person. All right.
Oh.
Don't be cheating here. And I'm going to put them in our wheel of weirdos, and then we'll see which one gets the message. So far, we have 58 from CMC, 16 from Luce. Get them in here quick, because we want to make sure we have enough time for the message. So I'm not going to take too long on this. So get them in there, you guys.
Get your numbers in.
It would be really helpful if you have an intention for
an intention. So think about that. Whoever wins, you got to have an intention too. So be thinking. Get your thinking hats on. And I'm going to share my screen so we can see our wheel of weirdos.
You can put in a 13 for me, Jenny.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, I got 58, 16, 22, 32. You said 13. Yep. 22 is a good number. Well, there's a bunch for 22.
A bunch of people want a 22. Yeah.
You guys know that's my number too. All right. Anybody else? Last call for numbers. Snippety snap. 8. Yes, because that was the dragon number 8. I think that's a good idea, Luce. All right, let me check over with our Facebook friends.
Luna put in 12.
12, okay.
Anybody else in another chat? Anybody watching on Facebook or Spellbound? Feel free to put your numbers in if you want a message there as well.
All right, last call. Shuffling the numbers.
Okay.
Okay, I'm spinning. Let's see what number we're going to get for our dragon message. 22, which there's a bunch of us that wanted 22. Yay.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be 22. Okay.
Woo! Okay.
So, oh, wow. Okay, so 22. That dragon is Celine. She is the dragon crystal guardian of Celestite. And she is a female dragon. Her origin is Madagascar. Her relative age is mature. And her appearance is that she transitions from pale to light blue with darker blue at the tips of her body. She is a typical Western-looking dragon with 2 wings, 4 limbs. Okay. Her dragon energy archetypes are heart, which represents all things having to do with love, flowing, which represents the element of water, and wise intuitive. So for me, wise, there are 2 flavors of wise. There's the female aspect of wisdom, which is intuitive, and the male aspect of wisdom, which is intellectual. So Celine is heart, flowing, and wise intuitive. And her message, I don't know what your intentions were for all of the people who selected you, but it's love all beings with a capital B. And her message resonates deeply with her identity as a heart-centered dragon, embodying her quintessential essence. The intentional capitalization of beings extends her call for love beyond the physical realm, encompassing all forms of existence. I love that this is the dragon for this call. Both physical and spiritual. This universal love is not merely an emotion, but a profound force that catalyzes personal and spiritual growth across all dimensions. Celine teaches that this expansive love is vital for the development and evolution of all beings, helping to dissolve barriers and foster a greater understanding between different forms of consciousness. Also really great message for this show. Her guidance encourages us to embrace love as a transformative power that can enlighten and elevate, promoting harmony and connection within the vast tapestry of the universe. Through her message, Celine invites everyone to participate in a broader, more inclusive practice of love that enriches both individual lives and the collective spiritual landscape. So remember how I started this conversation with dragons are like angels, but with more teeth? Celine is the most angelic frequencied of all of the dragons that I have connected with so far. So I love that we came full circle with this conversation, and we did our reading with Celine, the dragon crystal guardian of Celestite.
We love.
Mr. Bill had put 22 up over.
I saw Bill had also put 22. So that was like 5 of us that wanted 22. Yeah. That was perfect. You know, I'm not going to go into too much of it because first of all, it was a private reading. Second of all, we don't have much time and it's not about me. But there's another weird synchronicity with all of this 22 and Celine and the love. I did a reading today for someone and there was some odd, strange beings that came from beyond into the universe that came forward to give a message. And their whole presence was just love. So the fact that like all of this is like the message that like her short message is love all beings. And there's like these weird beings that showed up and they just happen to just be love. It's not a coincidence.
Beautiful. Dragon synchronicity right there.
Yay. Thank you, dragons. Thank you. Wow. Well, we still have 5 minutes left. I'm glad that we had plenty of time to get all of that message in. Yeah. I have kind of a side question here, just because I'm someone who also channels things. And I really like to hear how other people experience that. So when you're channeling information from dragons or anything else for that matter, what is that process for you? And like, do you have any physical sensations and kind of just overall, like, what's your experience when you're channeling?
It's kind of like the question that Frosty asked, which was, do you see them? I see them, hear them, feel them, and know things. So those are my primary clairs. So that's how I do like all of my channeling, whether it's a dragon or an angel or an animal or a tree or
do you feel like you're, because to me channeling, like to me, like all the clairs is like like you're getting information and you're connecting, But to me, channeling is more like a direct, like the information is just kind of flowing through. So like, do you ever feel like when you're getting into the flow of a reading or that connection of getting information that it's like almost like it's coming so fast that it's just flowing? Does that happen to you too?
Well, for me, my definition of intuition is that it is being open to energetic information and the skill of interpreting that energy into an understandable message.
Gotcha.
So channeling for me is just like receiving energy through one or more of my clairsenses and interpreting that energy into an understandable message. So if you're saying it's like energy is being like coming at me and I'm just the vessel, the through vessel. Not really. I'm a person and I'm I'm just the receiver.
Yes.
I'm just the antenna. I'm the radio. And so all I do is I interpret that energetic information and I share it in whatever way, usually verbal, because I'm not good at drawing. and yeah, I just share the information, the energetic interpretation in the way that works best. Sometimes it's visual and sometimes I go online and like I look for I'll search for a picture that looks like something that I saw because I've done that before in workshops. Like usually how I see dragon emotion is through swirls of color, and those colors are, you know, like not surprisingly, pink is love and gratitude is purple. And so I'll see swirls of colors when I feel dragon emotions. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, words are weird and words are hard. And like when it comes to this type of work, I feel like a lot of us have different definitions for the same word. So that was just kind of what I was wondering, like, because you use the word channeling. So what did that mean for you? Because I feel like it means something different to a lot of different people. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, like it's
for sure. For some people, channeling is
understanding everybody's process for me is interesting. Yeah.
For me, channeling is communication.
Yeah.
For other people, channeling is they allow their body to be taken over by another being so that the other being can communicate through them. I don't do that. I've decided that I'm too sovereign in this lifetime to allow that. So other people do, and that's totally fine. That's just not
you have dragon bits and pieces living in you. So that's a little,
there's that.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna let some other being communicate through me.
Yeah.
Like, because I got boundaries, man.
All right,
everybody
guys.
Does it different.
We've hit the bottom of the hour. If you want to learn more about Vivyana and check that out, please go to thedragonmystic.com. You can get information there, including about her new book, about her book, coaching, dragon guidance readings. And I also just wanted to give you a very quick moment, if you want to talk about a free gift that's available there as well.
Thank you. What I offer to all of my people who want to connect with me is a booklet called The 5 Steps to Connect and Commune with Your Own Dragon Spirit Guide. And that is a really wonderful place to start your dragon journey, to not only connect, but also feel into what communication method will work for you so that you can develop a trusting, lifelong relationship with your dragon spirit guide going forward.
Yay.
Excellent. All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Vivyana, so much for coming by and talking with us tonight. This went by super fast.
Always does.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure to talk with people who speak my language.
Wonderful.
And thanks everybody for all your great questions tonight. Very very interactive chat tonight. We always appreciate you.
All right. Join us next week. Our guest is going to be Beth Montgomery, death doula. So we'll be talking about being a death doula next week. All right, everyone. For all of you listening at another time and another place, we will see you all next time. And for everyone who's still hanging out with us here, we are going to go real quick over into the Twitch realm and see who we can raid out to tonight. We have The Sheltered Soul is on, Shamanic Awakening, Movie Mondays, Ritual Cape Cod. Let's go. Let's do, let's do The Sheltered Soul. We'll do The Sheltered Soul tonight.
Okay, yeah. They're doing tarot. That seems appropriate. Thanks, everybody. I think Luce had a resub at the beginning of the stream. I think
yes, we did.
So thank you, Luce.
Yeah, thank you for the resub, Luce, for 3 months, for subscribe for 10 months, and also to Norris, who reached a 30 stream streak. So thank you so much for all of y'all's contributions and time spent in chat. We will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.